February 15, 2012. Off the southwestern coast of India, the quiet of the open ocean is broken by the crack of rifle fire. Two fishermen aboard a small boat are struck and killed instantly. The shots came from the NV Enrica Lexie, an Italian-flagged oil tanker. In 2012, the western Indian Ocean was a high-risk zone for piracy, and commercial ships like this one regularly carried armed military detachments to protect their cargo. The victims were aboard the St. Anthony, a traditional Indian fishing boat. As it approached the massive tanker, the Italian naval marines on guard duty mistook them for pirates on an intercept course and opened fire. The Indian Coast Guard quickly intercepted the Enrica Lexie and directed it into the port of Kochi. There, local police arrested the Italian marines and charged them with murder. The deaths of these two fishermen launched a legal standoff between India and Italy that would take over a decade to resolve. The entire dispute hinged on a single geographic detail. The shooting happened exactly 20.5 nautical miles off the coast of Kerala. This map shows how maritime borders work. A country's strict territorial waters end 12 miles from shore. Beyond that stretches the Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ, out to 200 miles. At 20.5 miles, the Enrica Lexie was outside India's strict territorial sea, but still inside its economic zone. Because these precise GPS coordinates lie in this legal overlap, they created a jurisdictional vacuum. Neither country agreed on whose laws actually applied. India built its case on the legal principle of territoriality. This diagram illustrates their logic. An Indian-flagged vessel is legally treated as an extension of Indian territory. Because the bullet struck an Indian boat and killed Indian citizens, the crime effectively happened on Indian soil, giving local courts the authority to prosecute. The public reaction was intense. Citizens in Kerala demanded accountability, fully supporting the state's decision to formally charge the Marines with murder. To the Indian government, this was a straightforward double homicide on their sovereign territory, demanding justice within their own legal system. Italy viewed the incident through the lens of functional immunity. These men were active military personnel, deployed under an official state mandate to defend a commercial vessel from piracy in a high-risk maritime corridor. Italy challenged the arrests in the Indian Supreme Court, arguing that local police forces have no legal authority to try foreign military officers acting under state orders. For Italy, trying state officials for actions taken during military duties was a violation of their national sovereignty. Bilateral negotiations between the two governments collapsed. Recognizing the deadlock, Italy pulled the dispute out of India's domestic courts and onto the international stage. They appealed to the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. The tribunal stepped in and ordered India to halt all local court proceedings while the broader legal questions were sorted out. The final decision moved to the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague, tasking them with untangling the conflicting claims. The case was now before the world's highest tribunals, set to determine exactly how maritime law applies when two nations' rights collide. In May 2020, the Arbitral Tribunal finally delivered its ruling. The decision split the victory down the middle, requiring both nations to make significant concessions. First, India was granted concurrent jurisdiction because the crime concluded on their vessel. But the tribunal ruled the Marines had functional immunity, forcing India to drop prosecutions. Finally, Italy was ordered to pay substantial compensation for freedom of navigation, balancing the scales. The ruling was a compromise. It affirmed a coastal state's right to protect its vessels, while preserving the ancient rules that protect military personnel from foreign courts. With compensation paid, the Indian Supreme Court closed the case. The Marines returned to Italy to face a domestic investigation under their own justice system. The Enrica Lexie incident defined the boundaries of sovereign immunity. Even in the gray zones of the high seas, international law eventually finds an anchor.